Hiya! How we doing, folks? We're going to be taking this out. The BMW R1250RS. Going to take it out for a quick first ride.
Down in the dirt.
Well, folks, look what we got here. So here we go. This is the 2021 BMW 1250RS. Never ridden one of these before. Massive thanks to the folks here at Arden and Tunbridge Wells for giving me this to play on for the day. Now there's a story why, and I shall tell you. Okay, so let's sort this camera out. Mirrors. Yeah, good view out the mirrors. Yeah, all good there. Right, so it's keyless. Got my ultimate add-ons case there. Cali Motors plotted me a little route. Right, nice dash, I like that. Sounds good. Right, it's in road mode. I'll leave it in road just for just now. See what else we got here. What suspension mode's it in? Auto, road, dynamic. We want it in dynamic. It's got cruise control, all the normal bells and whistles that you'd expect. It's even got the SOS thing on this. I think this is the TE model, but we'll run through that in a sec. So, let us hit the road. Oh, I do love a new BMW. So tight. Right, beautiful. This has got the Gear Shift Assist Pro, because it's the TE model. What can I say? I mean, if you ride a GS, or if you've ridden the new 1250 boxer engines, you'll know what this is all about. I would say the main difference in this already is just purely seating position. Weirdly, straight off the cuff, it doesn't feel as flickable as the tractor does, as the GS does. I'm not sure what's going on there, why that is. Oh, it does feel a bit punchier. It's chucking out 136 horsepower, 140 odd, I think it's 143 Newton meters of torque. And that sort of main power delivery is around about the 5,500–6,000 rev mark. Exactly the same as the GS. That's right, madam, you take up 2 lanes. Anyway. So, plotted a little route with Cali Moto. So I'm taking in some fast roads like this, and then we'll move on to some twistier stuff later on. This is just a first ride. Let me tell you why. Are you sitting comfortably? Ooh. Then I shall begin. If you watched last vid I did on the new NOV K5 mount, wow, that is nice. Do you know what? That feels punchier. That does feel punchier for some reason. Maybe because it's slightly lighter, I don't know. But yeah, if you watched the last vid on the NOV mount, my engine light came on the GS. I've got a 1250 GS for those not in the know. Best bike in the world. And I'd also noticed that it dumped a load of coolant. Turns out the engine light is purely the exhaust return valve, you know, the flapper valve. It's that, which is fairly common. I've had loads of bikes where that's happened. And the coolant is because I think it's a thermostatic sensor or thermostat sensor or something. That's failed, so it's dumping coolant out over the left-hand pot. So that's all in for a repair at the moment under warranty. Hopefully they won't find anything else. But because it's going to take the day, they've kindly given me this bike as a courtesy bike. And I thought, why not bring you folks along? I actually feel like there's more wind buffeting. You know, my lid feels a lot noisier than it does on the tractor. I'm feeling a bit more wind across the top of my shoulders. It's not a cramped seating position by any stretch. The RS is marketed as a sports tourer. I can see that for sure. It's very comfortable. It doesn't feel alien at all if you've ridden something like the RT or the GS's. Then this feels very similar. I must say, I don't know if this is just because this is a reasonably new bike, but it feels very tight, very smooth. The boxer engine, I think, can feel quite agricultural. It feels a little bit clunky at times. Then I have a little break from it, I come back to it, I jump on it and I think, actually, do you know, this is a lot smoother than I recall. Bear in mind this is pretty much the same engine as what's in my 1250 GS. This feels really quite smooth and tight. This Gear Shift Assist Pro, it's a blipper and quick shifter, so up and down. It's by no means silky smooth. There are definitely better ones out there. I mean, obviously your sports bikes, when you move into sports bikes, it's a different market, it's a different type of engine. This feels nice. I mean, I like it. Right, I've had enough of road already. Come on, let's whack that into dynamic. Now they've obviously not put the little red chip in under the seat, so I can't get Dynamic Pro, but let's see what this is like. I should have gone for that overtake, but there's options up ahead, so any IAM and ROSPA watching, you can be quite critical at times. Right, let's turn off up here. Now I can't do the full day on this. Like I said, this is just a first ride. I'm not going to be putting big miles on this, probably about 100 miles or so today, because I'm still trying to get today's video. This is a Friday, and I try and chuck my vids out every Friday. Let's do the overtake. Yeah. Oh yes. Noodles of power, people. Noodles. Feels nice. Even in the dynamic suspension setting, it's not too firm at all. Pull back a little bit for a look. Car's coming. Left bend. Yeah, plenty of punch there for overtakes. Lovely, very nice. Oh, sorry, hi. Yeah, see, that's quite a bumpy stretch of road, that. Handles lovely. Slow that down into the little village. Yeah, it feels nice. So what does this start at? The BMW R1250RS. Well, the base package starts at around about the, I think it's 12.3. Now if you want this one, which is the TE model, which means you get dynamic modes, you get Gear Shift Assist Pro, you get the heated grips, well, it's all the bells and whistles basically. You want to go for the TE option. That will start from, I think it's 12,660. Definitely worth going for that one. Comes in a range of different colours, and obviously you can get panniers, top box, tank bags, all the rest of it. It's got the cradle there for the BMW Nav 6, which is basically a Garmin Zumo. Obviously I don't bother with that because I use the best motorcycle navigation app going, Calimoto. Check out the links below for a free trial. Okay, so trundling along at 30. Feels nice, feels very well balanced. These boxer engines are beautiful for that. The centre of gravity is so low. All of the big boxers are like that. Be interesting to see what's coming with this boxer engine. There's going to be the 1300. I think it's going to be the next incarnation of it. When that's coming out, I'm not sure, but I can't wait to try that. Brakes feel lovely on these. They're very nice, those brakes. Not grabby in the slightest. Reassuring. Beautiful. I'll say Nationals. I'll say now, I don't feel this is as engaging as even the GS, to be honest. Which is weird. I thought this would get the old blood flowing a little bit more, but no, I think I prefer the sort of ergonomics of the tractor, to be honest. And I'm not saying my days of sports bikes are over, because I absolutely love the S1000RR. That's amazing. But this just feels, I don't know, it kind of feels like a halfway house, really. Which I suppose it is. It's not a full-on sports bike, and it's not the adventure style bikes. I suppose this will go for that middle ground. People want a bit more comfort than your traditional sports bikes, but they're not quite ready to get their R-in jumper, pipe and slippers, and jump on the adventure bike. Now I know that stereotype is a load of bollocks. I know, folks, I know. Well, you've got the big RT, but I suppose they are big. This is slightly smaller. You could tour two up on it for sure, but this is probably aimed at the person that's probably going to tour generally on their own, as in on their own on a bike. What a load of rubbish. I'm waffling, sorry. It's been a while since I've done one of these. I think you can tell it's not my cup of tea, but it's okay, it's alright. I get why people would like them. Right, let's get back out onto the more open road. There they are. Nationals! Now this is a real bumpy country road, this. Suspension is firmer than it is on the tractor, but you'd expect that. Again, even in dynamic mode, it's soaking up these bumps lovely. Can we change this on the hoof? Right, so it's in road, in auto. Now these BMWs have this auto setting on the suspension, so even if you set it into dynamic, the firmer suspension setting, the sensors are reading to see what the road is like, and they'll adapt as much as they can within those parameters. So they'll keep it on the firmer side, but they will adapt. So if you start going over really bumpy roads, the suspension will sort of soften slightly. Moving this to road, already that feels much better. It's much smoother. So it's much softer, much softer. When we get back in the Nationals, push it a little bit more in the twists and see how this slightly softer suspension affects it. I don't think it'll affect it one iota, to be perfectly honest, for road riding. Obviously, if you're really pushing it, or if you wanted to take this on track, then yes, it would be different. For road riding, I doubt it. Cool. Size of that drum. Wowza. Is that someone's house? Blimey. It's bigger than the school I went to. Nationals! There we go, right, okay. Yeah, it is a bit more wallopy, you know. Once you get up to national speeds and put her into the tighter twists, it is a little bit more wallopy. Okay, so we're now back into dynamic. That's good that you can change this on the hoof. Nice one. Yeah, you can feel that. It is firmer. I do like it nice and firm. Crappy, wet, slimy spring roads. Awesome. Ooh, there's some potholes there. Sounds okay as well, stock exhaust, but it sounds alright, this. What I like about the BMWs is they keep the sort of ergonomics pretty much the same across the range. If you've ridden one BMW, then you can generally just jump on any model, and you know, all the buttons and everything, they all tend to be in roughly the same place. From what I remember, I think the R18 was the first one which seemed to be quite different, I think. You might have to watch my vid on the R18 just to see for sure. I'm sort of caught in two minds about the R18 now, you know. I feel like I didn't do it justice. Sometimes you're just in a bad mood. I think that day, well, I wasn't in a bad mood, you know, because I really enjoyed the RT. I just didn't enjoy my time on the R18, but I would like to give it another shot. So I might ask BMW if I could possibly acquire one for maybe a week or two and just spend some time on it and see. Because I've had lots of people messaging me going they were surprised to see such a negative reaction from me about it, because they have them and they love them, or they've test ridden them and loved them. So, you know, maybe it deserves another shot. What do you reckon? Right, so we're just coming into the town. Let's see what this is like in some traffic. It feels really nicely balanced. Said before, these boxer engines, they're beautiful with all that weight nice and low. They're great for slow speed manoeuvring. I used to love commuting on the tractor in and out of London, apart from when I was getting knocked off, obviously, but I found it really quite agile, nipping in and out of traffic, nip one, power one, and I'd suggest this will be no different. This is quite compact and beigeux, these lanes, they pack them in here. So what am I in? Second gear at the moment. Come on, can we get through that? Yes we can. The fueling feels good, it's not snatchy. These boxer engines have been around probably longer than the sun, so you know, they've pretty much nailed them now, BMW. They've really refined them down. But as I was saying before, with this new 1300, it would be interesting to see how it's going to develop, what they're going to do with it. Obviously the R18's got that stonking big 1800cc boxer engine. Now that would be interesting. Imagine that in a tractor. Ooh, blooming typical, isn't it? The one day I want loads of traffic, it's flowing reasonably well here. Ooh, someone is smoking the marijuana. Whew. Well folks, as I was saying, this is only a first ride sort of vid on this, but I've got to say, even on this ride that I've done on this bike, spent a couple of hours on this now, it's not compelling me to want to, you know, contact BMW and say, look, can I have this for a week or two to really spend some time on it. It's just, for me, it's just not tickling my danglies. Sorry, if you own one, I do apologise folks, but it's not a bad bike, it's a good bike, it's a lovely engine, but I just prefer it in something like either the RT or, for me, the tractor, GS, GSA, Nationals. Definitely a lot more wind noise. I think if I was to want to go for a sportier option than, say, the GS, I would definitely be looking at the RT. And if you fancy checking out my review of that vid, check it out up there. Alright folks, keep doing your thing, look after those that you love, but most importantly, live your life. Woo-ha! Come on. Yeah, national.